Most of us managers know we should delegate more, but we still don't. And the reason isn't what we think it is. The most common assumption is that delegation fails because the team isn't ready or the manager is too busy. But an MIT Sloan Management Review notes that most managers already know they should offload more. The problem isn't operational, it's psychological. Delegation asks you to stop being the person who does the work and become the person who enables others to do it. For managers promoted because they were the best at the job, that feels like you're becoming less valuable. No framework can fix that until the mindset shifts first. There are 3 distinct blocks, and each needing a different fix. The first is a trust gap. You doubt whether your team can execute to the required standard. And often that belief is untested. And you fix it by starting with low-risk tasks, giving clear instructions, and letting the evidence update your view. The second is a control habit. You've built your reputation by doing things yourself, and handing off feels like losing grip. So shift your measure of success from output you produced to outcomes your team achieved. The third and the hardest is identity conflict. Your value feels tied to being the expert, the doer. Delegation threatens that. And the fix isn't a tool, it's a reframing of your thinking. Management isn't about being the best technician, it's about multiplying what the team produces. So, which of these 3 resonate with you? Because that's where to start. But diagnosing the block is only half the answer. Once you have diagnosed your block, you need a fast filter for the actual decision. So ask, could someone on my team do this at roughly 80% of my quality, freeing me for work only I can do? If yes, holding it is a delegation block and not a legitimate reason. You're choosing comfort over leverage. Waiting for perfect handoff means you never hand off anything. Good enough with clear expectations beats perfect and bottlenecked. How much autonomy you give depends on the task and the person. Think of it as a ladder. At the bottom, you ask someone to gather information and report back, and you decide. At the top, you hand over full ownership. They act, decide, and tell you what happened afterwards. Most managers default to the bottom rungs, even when the person is ready for more. So match autonomy to readiness for that specific task, not general seniority. But one warning, delegating without a clear brief creates its own problems. Unclear outcomes lead to missed expectations and a manager doing the work twice. The goal isn't to offload, it's to hand off cleanly with the right level of oversight. So diagnose where you're blocked, apply the 80% filter, and calibrate autonomy to readiness. That's the decision. If that was of value, subscribe to the channel for one real business question answered every video. For the same clarity in writing, the website and newsletter is 5minutebusiness.com.